Every week for the past 3.5 years, this man has gotten into his truck to drive the 40 or so miles to the charity of his choice. His name is Al, and he is the most generous person I know.
I live in Valley Center, and to get to the Angels Depot, I spend anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour one way. It's usually at least once a week, and sometimes there are occasions when I go in twice a week.
Al is a founding board member. He has been on the board since we were meeting at my house before there was ever an Angels Depot. Al is a former Marine who served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam and came back with the Silver Star, which I think set the tone for his whole life philosophy and for his volunteer ethic.
Susan and I have been friends since 1968. Prior to getting involved with the Angels Depot, I was with her at another charity called So Kids Can Dream. We ran that one for about 3 years.
But then we found out that 50,000 seniors lived in poverty in San Diego County. So I went to Al and the other little board members of So Kids Can Dream and I said, listen, I think we have a moral obligation. These are the people who built this country that are going hungry. They're people who fought wars and paid taxes, and now they don't have enough to eat. And we made the decision right on the spot to close down So Kids Can Dream and start the Angels Depot to meet this crisis need in San Diego County.
What got me when we shifted from So Kids Can Dream to the Angels Depot is I looked at myself. At that point in time, I was 62 years of age. Here these people are 65, living at or below the poverty level, and as I've said many times over, there but for the grace of God go I. So as long as I'm able to help those people, I'm going to do everything in my power that I can.
We have over 1,800 volunteers, and you know, people get busy with their kids and their families and school and work and church, and they come when they can. So it's a small dedicated few that really come all of the time.
Sometimes we get volunteers in here for, a couple of months, a couple of weeks, and then things start fizzling out. But Al has always been there from day one.
Al is always the first one to step up and pack boxes, sort cans, serve in all of our community booths, doing outreach. He's always the first one to sponsor multiple tables for all of our events. And probably the most frightening thing is that this man was actually willing to spend the night in his pickup in a Walmart parking lot all night to guard our rummage sales so that everything would be safe and sound when we opened the next day. So I have to say that of all of the wonderful people who volunteer for the Angels Depot and that I've had the pleasure of meeting, Al is by far the most generous.
People have asked me if I think that I'm unusual because of the amount of time that I spend with the Angels Depot or that I have a big heart. Yeah, I have a big heart, but it's not just for people, it's also for animals because I've got 5 dogs, 6 cats, and 3 horses. So I love animals and I love people. So I don't feel as if I'm spending too much time anywhere.
He brought his horse to visit on my front yard this Saturday and gave the neighbor kids pony rides. You know, he embodies what Spirit of Living is all about.
It's out of his heart. He's very selfless. I always see him giving. Al actually has his own business, so he's got a full plate, just with that. For him to come back time and time again for us, that's a true volunteer right there.
Time is what you make of it. I have no trouble with the time it takes for the Angels Depot or for my animals because that's part of my life. In any given week, we have so many hours that we spend sleeping, we have so many hours that we spend working, and there are other hours that are left over. And for me, I like to spend that time doing things. I don't like to sit down and watch a football game very frequently. I like to be out and moving, helping the Angels Depot or at a fundraiser or out with the Escondido Mounted Posse. I like to keep moving because truthfully, I believe that's how you stay young. I'm not going to vegetate.
Al is the kind of volunteer that you can rely on. Whatever the problem is, whatever the crisis is, Al's very resourceful and he finds a way to help the Angels Depot meet that need.
Just an idea of what Al's capable of. One month we were really stressed about funding, and so we were afraid that we weren't going to make payroll. And so Al came in and he says, okay, what do you need? I'll be there for you. Al is the one that has always come through for us. So no matter what it is, if we need him, he will be there for us.
Part of what makes me do what I do is I thank God that He allowed me to come back from Vietnam. I don't suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. A lot of my friends do. And since He gave me that gift, I want to repay that in the only way I know how, and that's to help other people.